everybody. I hope you are cooking with me today. Today we are doing banana bread. This is one of the easiest and most moist banana breads that I've made, and the flavor is really awesome. So the first thing I do is I set my oven to 350 to get that preheating while I'm mixing everything up. I have my pans out. Usually the banana bread makes 2 loaf pans, but today I have 1 loaf pan and I'm trying my new Pampered Chef mini loaf pans, so we'll see how that works. And to get your bananas all set, you take 3 bananas. You know, you always get these bananas that you didn't eat, so banana bread is the perfect thing to make. So when your bananas get kind of brown and ugly and nobody wants to eat them anymore, then make banana bread. So this is your average recipe for regular banana bread. What I usually do is I have my 3 bananas. I have taken this, they call them skins, rinds, and taken those off, and then I'm using a fork and I put them on a plate and I'm mashing them with my fork to get them all mashed up and ready. And Tater, you know it's cooking time, don't you? Are you gonna be a good helper today? All right, you guys see Tate's? Come here. He's very excited. He just sat down because he thinks he's getting food. All right, so my bananas are all mashed up on my plate and I'm just going to set those to the side for right now. They will come into play later. And I'm gonna throw away the rinds. All right, now let's get mixing. So the first thing you need is 1.5 cups of just plain white granulated oats. So 1.5 cups. Here's my one. And I have this half measuring in this 1 cup. There we go. 1.5 cups of sugar. And then you need 1 stick of butter. You can use margarine. It can be salted, unsalted, whatever you prefer. I always just have on hand sticks of salted, so that's what I am using. My oven is already preheated. So I melted my butter. It's really more melty than I would like, but I'm gonna use it anyway. I just have the melted butter, 1 stick, putting that in with the sugar. And then I'm gonna mix that around a little bit. Get the butter and sugar kind of mixed up. It's nice when you have your butter melted a little bit because it's so much easier to mix. So I always just melt it in the microwave a little bit. So sugar and butter mixed around a little bit. And now you need 2 eggs. I always use large eggs. So there's 1. Moving some things around the kitchen today. And here is 2. There's your eggs. And then you need a 1/4 cup of sour milk or buttermilk, but who really has buttermilk on hand? No one. So what you do is you take about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I usually just eyeball it and just put a little bit in the bottom of my measuring cup. It's about a tablespoon. And then we're gonna fill the rest up with milk. I always have low-fat milk, so that's always what I use in all my recipes. And it only needs a 1/4 cup, so I fill the rest to my 1/4 mark. And then you want to stir that around just a tiny bit. 1/4 cup of sour milk, which is just apple cider vinegar, and then the rest of whatever milk you happen to have. And I think that's what really makes this recipe so moist. So I have my eggs now and my milk, and I'm gonna mix that up a little bit. Get it all mixed around. Make sure your eggs are broken up and mixed in there. And it's gonna look like your eggs have broken and curdled a little bit, but that's normal. And I think that's because it's with the eggs and the milk combined. So it looks like that. All right. Now, I'm going to do my dry ingredients, which calls for 2 cups of flour. Reuse that same cup you used for the sugar. 2 cups of flour. Here's 1. I always use all-purpose flour. Here's 2. And then you need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So here's my teaspoon. See how fast this is going together? Teaspoon of baking powder and teaspoon of baking soda. Both you need for this recipe. Just a teaspoon of each. And then go ahead and carefully combine that. And as always, when you're combining things with flour, you want to start slowly, otherwise you get the big poof of flour in your face. And then, you know, there's flour everywhere. So you don't want that to happen. So this is coming together pretty well. Getting it all mixed up. This recipe I got from my mother-in-law, Joanne. And once I started using this one, I have not tried any other recipes for banana bread. This one is the best. All right, so it's all mixed together. If you're cooking with me, how's yours looking? All right, now you can put in your bananas that you had set aside. Like I said, it was 3 bananas. I've done it with 2 before and it's been fine. I've done it with 4. So 3 is usually just a guideline. And now mixing your bananas. And oh, it's smelling so good. So this banana bread, I don't know what's going on. A lot of times, you know, when I buy bananas, there's always some that go bad really quick. So I make a lot of banana bread. They're good for gifts if you're like, your family is like, banana bread again? Seriously, Mom? So what you can do is you can give it away to somebody who you know would enjoy the banana bread. Right, Tater? Oh, it freezes really well too. Okay, so it's all mixed together. And now I'm gonna put it into the pans. Now normally I would just pour it right into my loaf pans. Tater, being so helpful. But since I'm using these mini loaf pans, I don't want it to get everywhere. So I think I'm gonna try using my scoop to fill this mini loaf pan. I'm using like a medium scooper, and we'll see if medium is good enough for each of these mini loaves. I might add just a touch more. But one heaping scoopful to start us out, and then see how it all looks. Yeah, I'm gonna shake it around a little bit. Do a little shake. Shake, shake, shake. I'm just gonna add just a touch more here. Touch more here, because it is gonna rise when you cook it. But I don't want it to rise and make a mess. And I want to leave enough for another loaf. So, I got that one filled. Now I'm gonna fill this loaf pan. I did spray this loaf pan with some non-stick cooking spray, but for my other mini loaf pan, it said on the directions not to use those with that pan because something that Pampered Chef puts on their loaf pans, it will make it sticky or it won't work so well. So I just used my non-stick spray with glass because I knew it would work. Bless you, Tater. All right. This pan isn't filled as much as I usually fill it, but it'll still be good. Now you're gonna put it in the oven. If I was doing 2 full loaf pans, it would be like 50 minutes. But since I'm doing this loaf pan, see, it's not filled very much, and these loaves are smaller. So I'm only gonna put it in for half an hour and check them and see how it goes. So put them in your oven. If you've got 2 loaf pans, 50 minutes. If you have smaller pans, try 30, and then we'll check it out. All right, so these are out of the oven and they're looking fabulous. It took about a half an hour to do all of these. So look how cute these little ones turned out, and they popped right out of this pan. Look, it's so clean. These Pampered Chef, and it's so pretty, the blue. All right, so I've cut one of them. And you can see on the inside, it's really hard to see moistness, but oh my word, I love the edges. They're kind of crispy. Let's check it out. So good and moist and sweet and bananas. That banana flavor is throughout the whole thing. It's so good. You could put some butter on here and get it all nice and melty. That would be great. So I hope that you have tried to make this banana bread. It is very super good and easy and quick, and your family will love you for it.